Conservation Commission meeting, November 19th, 2025. Present are
Susan Tucker.
Patty Gale, Planning and Zoning Assistant.
Gene Walker.
David Neiman. Andrew Chaplin.
Okay, first on the agenda is shoreline permit review. Review for shoreline permit for map 41, lot 2, 129 Mountain Base Road. Rebuild house that will be located within the shoreline for Deborah and Eric Tolson. This is out of the town 100-foot wetlands district buffer. We have someone here to present it.
Hi, good evening. My name is Brandon Wing from Promised Land Survey out of Derry. And yeah, it's a shoreline permit application. 129 Mountain Base Road, map 41, lot 2. The project is to raise the existing house and construct a new one in its place. I believe it's 2 bedrooms only. I think that's all the, 2 bedroom. They're gonna replace the septic as well as part of the project. I think it's a fairly new septic, but the proposed house layout is too close to it. I think it requires a removal and redesign of septic.
Do you have something that you can show them?
I brought a set of plans, yeah.
Okay, if you can, if you want to put it up.
Yep, of course.
If it helps you to explain it.
I'm gonna put the proposed conditions up. The
Okay.
existing conditions are, I mean, it's kind of the same. The house is bigger. The garage is detached, existing, and attached, proposed.
So I suggested to them that they come in, because of when you were notified as an abutter, some of you expressed concerns. They are not in the 100-foot buffer. They are exempt from a wetland setback because it's a pre-existing lot. So they did get a variance for where they didn't meet the setbacks, so they've been approved for that. And where they apply for the shoreline permit, I recommend they come in and explain it, because you always get the copy of it.
And so just to clarify then, are we expected to make a comment at this date?
If you want to, you don't have to, but I didn't want to have you see this and not have an explanation, then I'm contacting them to come in.
Right, I just wanted to make sure I clarified all the
Yeah,
reasons
it's up to
why
you. You
we're
don't have to make a
reviewing it,
comment.
given that there's
But
no
yeah,
impact on the buffers.
Yeah.
Right.
So, do you have 11 by 17s of this?
Yeah, I had what was given to ZBA,
Okay.
and I was
Okay,
like,
that's essentially the same thing, really.
okay,
So you'll see the proposed 2-bedroom dwelling. It's 5 feet from the property line. They got a variance for that. It's 15 feet. The proposed is 15 feet from the wetland. And the existing septic, I'll design the septic back here where the existing one is, and that also is pretty close to the wetland, but there's no other place really on the lot to put it. But the layout on the 11 by 17 you have is the same house location as I proposed
Yeah.
shoreline.
So could you say again what you're gonna do with the garage?
So there's an existing garage right here.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna remove that and remove the existing house and construct a new house.
With a garage attached?
Attached garage, yes.
Okay.
and this has a trolley car in front of it, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And the new design has the same look. They're gonna keep the same trolley car front.
So the existing house is built around a trolley car?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. I
I
think
saw
I know
the-
which one that is.
Yeah, I saw the bump out, you could see the bump out on
Yeah,
it,
Bump out.
yeah.
so you know that's a trolley car.
That's the trolley car.
Whoever parked it there.
I think they were moving it to the front of the house to make it more aesthetically pleasing to people. So they were trying to enhance it.
So the trolley car will
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
be built
Yeah.
That
They're
would be-
gonna-
That's gonna be
I
the
think
front of it.
The front of it.
yeah, the proposed house is gonna keep the same look in the front. It looks like a trolley car. I think it's
Looks
gonna
like
be a new, they're not keeping the old trolley car, but they're gonna shape the new one like it.
Oh,
Okay.
but the old trolley car's in there.
Right,
It looks like it is.
yep.
Yeah.
I think there's even like, the hitch is still on the end of it.
Yeah.
I've only been there I was there twice, but I didn't look too closely at the house. I was delineating the wetlands and then I did a test pit.
It's okay. Any other, we have questions? Any have,
I guess I was just a little confused by the earlier statement that it's exempt because it's a pre-existing lot from wetland setbacks, but then you also said it's within the wetland setbacks, so.
Well, no, so from the pond, which is considered a surface water, there is no exemption because that's a standard 100-foot setback.
Right.
A wetland area is grandfathered, and they have wetlands in the back.
In the back, yeah.
No, 'cause
That's the one.
That's our town ordinance wetland.
Yeah, it's the town ordinance, is the 100-foot for any defined surface water, and then there are certain categories for a wetland, and this predates zoning, so they do not have a setback for the actual wetlands on the lot.
okay,
Right.
because of the grandfather did.
But they're not any closer, when your new building isn't any closer to the,
I think you're
Yeah,
going even a
wetland.
little further away, aren't you?
I thought it was, looked like it was
It's a little less
farther.
because they're moving the garage.
The existing house is 18 feet at its closest point to the wetland boundary. The proposed is 15.1, so almost 3 feet closer.
3 feet closer.
Okay.
For the house part, but it looks like the garage might be away from it a little bit more.
I think
Big
it looks
size.
like, yeah.
The garage.
The garage is definitely further away. The existing garage is 5.6 feet from the wetland, and the proposed is 21.2
Okay,
feet.
so
Yeah.
that'll be out.
Significantly further, yeah.
Anybody have any other questions or concerns?
And they are across the street, I mean, they have the road that goes in front of them,
Front of them, I
so in the shoreline, they're on the opposite side of the shore.
I saw that, yeah.
I'm planning to do, are you familiar with Advanced On-Site Solutions, septic systems? Like a clean solution tank, an aeration tank. It's a type of system that has a little air compressor. It makes it an aerobic environment, it's like anaerobic. So the bacteria do a lot better in there. So the water coming out the back end of the septic tank, a lot of people irrigate their lawns with it. It's much cleaner. So it's a state-approved system, and it requires a much smaller leaching area, so that's what I'm going to propose here. It's just kind of a better thing for lots around the lake.
Do we want to make a recommendation to,
Well, I would say, at least I have no issues of concern. I don't know if anyone else does.
I agree with that.
You want to make a motion, that you have no issues with concern, you don't have to
Yeah,
pass it on to.
I just want to clarify who we're
Yeah.
sending comments to.
yeah,
So, any board within the town, I would move that we have no issues of concern. And if there is a requirement or desire to send some sort of comment to the state, I would say the same thing.
I'm not required to include anything from the commission to the shoreline program. I think it's just, in this instance, just a cleaner thing to have brought this before you, and because it went to zoning, I think it was, there's just history with a lot, so I think that's why we're here. I don't even have a place to include that
I
with my
understand.
application, but it's,
I just want to make sure all
Right,
i's are being
yep.
dotted and t's crossed. so
Yep,
there's no
understood.
problem.
okay.
and I appreciate that.
And we had a second on that from Andrew, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll second that. Oh, Jane has a comment, I would.
I just wanted to add that,
Jane?
and I don't know, you're doing the septic, but you're not doing the construction.
I'm not doing the construction, I'm doing the shoreline permit plans and the
so-
septic design.
Is our comment going to planning
No, not with this, but you can comment to the state.
to this?
I'm just concerned that there be a comment somewhere that special attention be paid to erosion control and you know, that kind of thing, but that's not, I'm thinking of planning, not, so we'll just leave it like it is.
That's a pretty big concern of the shoreline program too, so I include that on my plans.
Okay.
So that would be okay to go to,
And it has to go, so part of it, in order to apply for a shoreline permit, you have to have a Natural Heritage Bureau report as well,
Right.
which is involved with Fish and Game. So Fish and Game actually kind of dictates what kind of erosion control you can use. So I use the Fish and Game recommended erosion control on my plans.
Okay. For the septic.
For any construction.
Okay.
Prior to any construction that's to be installed.
Okay, perfect.
Good.
Thank you.
Of course.
And I can do an email to you
Yeah.
if you want to keep that way, saying you did go to the,
Yep.
they asked you or something when you had,
okay, so
that you have comments from us if they do ask you when you go.
we have the motion.
No issues of concern, recommend best management practices for erosion control.
Okay, and we had a second on it, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Like how I put that together?
Okay, next we have a subdivision plan review. Review of proposed 2-lot subdivision from map 1, lot 47, 567 Mountain Road, John W. Brown, zone conservation open space. Comments needed to be forwarded to both the planning board and ZBA. Some of the existing structures are located within the inner 50-foot of the wetland district buffer.
So if you want me to explain, I recommended that someone come in for this. They haven't submitted to go to ZBA yet, but these are existing structures.
Yep.
And once you do a subdivision, you're creating new lots. So therefore, the 100-foot setback comes into play. And this would have been the same circumstance where they would have 0 setback, but because they are changing the lot lines, it's now a new lot line, and they do have to have a 100-foot setback.
So it's not grandfathered.
It's no longer grandfathered once they do the subdivision.
Okay, we have someone here to, go ahead.
Good evening, Robert Baskerville, Bedford Design Consultants. Alan Brown, the owner, is with me behind me. We did a plan to subdivide his house lot, which is I think about 12 acres, into 2 lots. One of 6.5 acres, one of 5.3 acres. Most of it's very straightforward. There's no changes proposed to his lot at all. We had Luke Hurley do the wetland flagging, and he flagged a, can you give me my stand up?
Yep.
He flagged a drainage way that went down through the lot here. He said there's no water in it the day he was there. Some spots of it show a little scour, some of them don't at all, depending on the steepness of it. Buildings Patty is talking about is what we label the sugar shack here, and there's a little aluminum building here with a roof and no sides, kind of like probably originally a carport. Been there for a long time. Me and Patty haven't had a chance to talk. I've done a lot of projects like this recently. My opinion is it doesn't need a variance, and that's something we can discuss in the future. I've done about 10 projects in Hampton Beach over the last year, and this came up extensively. And I own a camp up in the Contoocook where they changed the zoning. And if a structure is in place and the zoning changes, having the zoning change doesn't create the need for a variance. It's an existing grandfathered condition. It's my understanding with all the towns I've been to, but I'm not a lawyer and I'm very glad I'm not.
Yeah, I checked with the town administrator and with a planning board member that's been in it a long time, and they both agreed that once you change the lot lines, you have to follow the new zoning ordinance. It's not the structure, it's the new lot.
Correct.
Right,
You have to
right.
follow it
The new
for all
zoning
new-
ordinance,
Right,
yes.
for all new structures. But nothing about this is changing. There's no changing those structures. We're not expanding them.
No, But it doesn't conform, the lot doesn't conform, that's why, when you do that, that's just, I checked before I
That makes sense.
contacted everyone.
Yeah.
If the structure's a well, do they have to move the structure? I mean,
This lot.
No, I mean, it's the, I mean, that's, if they have to go get a variance, that's what they would ask for, is to allow them to remain
And I'm just saying, I'm not sure we need a
without
variance.
having to do all that.
We'll
I was gonna
officially
say,
ask for
yeah.
a determination from the code enforcement officer and see what he says, and go from there. As I said, the new lot being created is here.
Yeah.
Plenty of space to build a house. Driveway will be here. You walked that with the DPW, right?
I did.
Who'd you walk with?
This one here.
Yeah, Head Highway? Jacobs, okay. So the driveway's been approved by TVW. Most of it looks pretty straightforward. There's just the issue of does it need a variance or not. And when it came up, the people at the office only had like a day or two to submit it. And I just said, hold your horses. You know. Anytime we rush stuff in that fast, it's easy to stub your toe, and they didn't want to do that.
Yeah. Well, and Derek is in charge of zoning, so you have that determination, just so you know.
Derek is the town
He
administrator?
oversees, so me and Derek do a lot of the zoning, and we have a zoning code enforcement officer, but it's mainly Derek does the official overseeing of it.
Okay,
I'm just letting you know that.
all right,
And that's who I went to.
okay.
And I went to Barbara Griffin on the planning board and asked her as well,
Huh?
her opinion.
And their opinion was
Yeah,
what?
but-
Because the lot lines changed, they would need to get relief for the, keeping the buildings where they
okay, so
are.
they would need to go to the ZBA. to
Yeah,
get
and I don't
relief.
see it as an issue.
No. So if they just want
So
a comment from
essentially-
It's
us,
kind of like a
a comment from us to be
technicality.
sent to the ZBA.
And planning, because they're also going
planning.
for subdivision to planning.
Okay. Okay.
So we want to seek your comments regardless of whether we go to both or not. We want to come in and
Right.
explain what we're doing.
Yeah,
You know,
and
there's
you
no
I'll
condescension.
have them, so I can pass them on to both.
Right. There's ultra few well structures out there too. Or close to it, but they've been there for a long time.
Yeah, it's what needed a building permit is what he looks at for the structure that would be in the well.
What's that?
I mean, planning may agree with the
Oh.
well, but what we go by is what's the definition of a
Right.
structure, and that's,
Gotcha. Okay.
May I ask a question?
Yeah,
Sure.
How far from the side lot line is the proposed driveway?
about.
Of course, I didn't bring my scale with me.
Well, they're required to have a 10-foot setback,
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
and there's separation requirements.
like it.
corner's about 10 or 15 feet away from
yeah.
like it's fast.
So, and Scott Ozana hasn't reviewed this plan yet for engineering.
Yeah,
30.
yeah, it's probably, yeah.
Well,
So we're looking at this to see if it's
the,
the wetlands or things like that.
If you have any concerns with the proposed subdivision.
Right.
right, so there's no material change to how the property's being used at all.
No.
There's,
No.
the structures that would make it non-conforming, if that's the final determination, are pretty small and insignificant, just a sugar shack and, outhouse wasn't in there, was it?
It was an aluminum
Aluminum, whatever it
cardboard
is.
or something, yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say,
I
given
don't see
those
any issues with
factors, that
that.
we have no issues of
I
concern.
was gonna say, I don't see any issues with it at all.
I don't either.
We wanted to come in and let you ask questions and
Does anybody have any questions they wanna ask?
Because if he has to go to ZBA, like I said, was stated to me, they would need to get a recommendation from Conservation
Right,
Commission.
so
So I wanted to have that in place.
So we need to give a recommendation to go to the planning board and ZBA.
But can't we recommend that we
We have no issues or concerns.
Issues of-
No
Yeah,
issues?
that is
With no-
would be
yeah.
a
That's what I can pass on to both boards.
Yeah,
Do you want that in the motion?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so
David
David
made
made a motion. Yeah.
We need a second on that?
That part,
Second?
David?
Hmm.
All right.
Well, I guess Evelyn seconded.
Yeah, I second it, right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you for coming in.
Sure, I was listening to that side when you made the motion, I didn't
Well,
actually
I
hear the
didn't make a
motion.
motion, actually, I was getting
Well, I
ready, but
never-
then they let me know that he had already made the
Actually,
motion, so
I just said I had no issues with concern. I didn't actually make the motion.
Well, you have now.
But the motion is, I don't have any concern, right?
No concern.
Okay, I didn't actually hear that, so.
So it turns out what we're saying and whether it's a motion or not is far more complicated than the plan being presented. Is
Yeah,
the bottom line.
yeah.
I would just like to add now that there isn't any water in here now because we're in a drought.
Yes,
But there probably is water in there when.
I was gonna say, it's the day, he was there, I called him up and asked him, he's in Manchester to meeting tonight, otherwise I'd have him here. So I called him up to ask him, does that flow? And he said the day he was there, it didn't, and there are some spots that have scour, which means it flows on the surface at some times. And then when it widens out, that disappears and it's not there, so it's not consistent.
Yeah,
But yeah, this flow,
it must.
yeah,
At least in the spring, I'm sure.
if it rains
If
hard
we
enough,
had- if we-
hard enough, there's flow almost every place.
Yeah,
And the last few years, we've had a few of those storms.
yeah, but we're low on
Okay, well, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. 7:20, I'm quite happy about that.
Right?
Yeah.
From this dilly-dallying.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have any corrections and to the minutes of September 24th?
I don't believe I was here for that. Do I have the wrong minutes?
Yeah, no, it was the right one. It's October we
Hi,
canceled.
folks.
We can't cancel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
So,
look- they
Susan,
look
did you
fine
have
to me.
corrections?
Yes, I do.
You have corrections?
I do.
Okay.
First page, last paragraph, it was just turned around. It said that Dan Little Brook drains into Mountain Base Pond. It's the other way around. Mountain Base Pond drains through Dan Little Brook.
Right.
That's downhill.
Mountain Base Pond drains through
From,
Japan.
yeah, Dan Little Brook drains from Mountain Base Pond. And there is a very large culvert. We probably say.
That goes,
That
it comes out of
comes,
it.
yeah,
So Mountain Base Pond drains into Dan Little Brook.
yes, it's up above.
And the
it's high,
culvert
coming down.
is flowing out.
Out.
We, years ago, put a disaster, in case that dam
Right.
breaks,
I remember that. Yep.
that we have an emergency call system to all those people that are along that stream. Because if that dam breaks, then the whole lake comes down there and, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's on record. We did it a number of years ago, right?
It was part of the dam certification or dam registration.
That's right, I had to redo that dam.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it had to do. Okay, so, I know we have a copy of the vernal pool study.
Do we have to accept the minutes?
We gotta accept the minutes first.
After
So,
Susan made a correction.
Susan made the motion with one correction.
Okay. Do we have a second on that? Andrew, did
I
you?
wasn't there, so I can't.
You could, okay.
I'll second.
David, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining?
Abstain. Yeah,
You abstain.
yes.
Okay, now,
This,
the dues, what's, you did that.
Is
We have a
this-
copy of the vernal pool for map 6 lot 54. Did anybody
Acorn Drive.
Yes.
comment on that?
Yeah, he gave us an update.
Yeah, I looked at it and I was happy to see they finally found the eggs in one of the places where we said they were
Something ate
clearly
them.
and easily found. But then the second area labeled D, they said, oh, we still didn't find any,
I saw.
which I think Courtney was here, she would agree with me, and then, wow. I don't know how you could
Then the
miss it.
raccoon probably ate those too.
Because it was really obvious. And we were doing a cursory inspection, but it doesn't really matter, it's a moot point anyway, because of where it's located. It'll, probably be monitored by us when we take over the open space, so.
Has that subdivision been approved?
It's been approved, they're getting ready to come in and get the plan signed. It was held off because an abutter appealed the decision, and, so it went to, I think it was the New Hampshire Housing Board, and, they upheld the planning board decision, and they haven't appealed it, so. Now move forward.
So they're gonna start work.
Eventually.
So, Jen, do you have anything from the?
But we haven't received, they haven't signed over the open space to us yet.
No, it's probably, they're gonna do that as all part of when they do the plan.
I had been talking frequently to Joanne about that. I haven't followed up with Sylvia. I'm sure
She
Sylvia
won't
will
know
reach out.
anything about it. It'd be Derek I'd follow up with.
Well, she should though, because I know Joanne briefed her about it.
Did she? Okay.
Okay, anything, Jane and River?
The meeting was canceled. The meeting was supposed to be at 6 o'clock today.
Okay,
And what we were supposed to have was an overview from the village water precinct about their connection to the river. And
Canceled.
it didn't happen.
okay. Okay, thank
So
you.
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Okay, David, open space or,
Yeah, a couple things. So first of all, at the last meeting I said, all right, finally, all these details are worked out with the NRCS. It's gonna get finalized in October. Well, government shutdown,
oh,
so it didn't get done. Now I have to wait, for the people to come back and clear their backlog, and it's like this project is cursed for just that federal grant. There's some people, when they get in office, you shouldn't have to deal with because they're not competent. You can't deal with a fascist government, what can I say?
okay. You
What about
have,
the sidewalk?
On the sidewalk, we should do, I wanted to schedule a sidewalk for both around the Page Hill Marsh property and then go up and have a look at the two town properties north of Montalona Road.
Is this the one that has the quartzite,
Where the cliff is, yeah.
where the cliff is? Okay.
But I would like to start with the Page Hill Marsh one so we can, because we haven't walked it for a couple of years. We need
Been a
to,
couple years.
double check all the boundaries, and I also want to gather, it's a conglomeration of the different lots that we accumulated. And even though they're all being put together because of the abutting with others, I want to go out and get precise GPS measurements of each corner this time, so we can see if there's any discrepancies with the online town GIS map, because believe me, there have been many, most of which have been corrected. They've made a number of corrections on the town that I've seen, which is good news. But there's still a couple areas that I think might be a little questionable. So the markers are out there and they're easy to find, especially the one lot had big granite monuments that are pretty impressive. I just want to get a good fix on them, compare those with the town's GPS, make any corrections if we need to. That's part of the sidewalk.
When did you want to do this?
Well, I was waiting for fall to set in just because it's easier to move around with all the vegetation down and not being massively tick infested.
Right.
Um,
So many.
And so I was thinking later this month, or it could be next month, because there is one advantage with Page Hill Marsh in doing it in the winter. Once the marsh freezes over, you have all sorts of shortcuts if you want to cross it. Otherwise it's a big long way around. So that's also a factor, but I don't know when it's going to freeze up. It's hard to predict. Usually it is before Christmas, but you never know.
okay, so maybe not until our next meeting. Well, who knows?
Well, I don't know if we'll have a next meeting in
That's true,
December.
we'll discuss that too.
It doesn't have to be frozen, but, just throwing that out.
Well, what about the other one? Is Waldvogel the one that abuts the land that the Forest Society came in and talked to us about? They're gonna do the
Yes.
logging?
Yes.
Okay. So there's,
And that's the one where the boundary line was in question. I want to see what they're considering to be the boundary line. And see what other bounds we can determine. That area is just as confused as Page Hill was before, maybe even worse.
I think so.
Okay, so, what do you want to plan for?
Do you wanna do this one? It's not as wet over there.
We could start with either one. I just was assuming Page Hill because it's really need to create a baseline document which was never created for it. This would be a good time to gather any evidence for that and get that in the works. Have that on record and on file so we can do a proper job of stewardship going forward. And again, I want to, just really nail down those boundary problems where I know we can nail them down there for sure if we just get good readings. Just want to, on the ground, the boundary is very clear. The boundaries. It's just on what's in the GIS. I want to make sure if there's any corrections that need to be made, they get made.
So you guys are gonna suggest a date to do it, or do it?
Well, I don't know when people are available and who's going to participate. I would say we do it after Thanksgiving.
I'm just not available the weekend after Thanksgiving, so the 29th, I'm not available that
Not
weekend.
either. No.
Well, I meant after Thanksgiving in general, not necessarily.
After that, I'm
weekend.
free, yeah.
Well, after Thanksgiving is December
Yeah.
Yeah.
already.
And there's not much daylight at the end of a workday for anybody. I mean, I know, I can go during the daytime, but,
Oh, no, yeah, it's not an evening thing in the
no,
middle
we'd
of
have to
winter.
go.
It's evening starting about 3 o'clock. Yeah.
First Saturday in December?
Yeah, if we're walking the whole boundary, just to let you know, it's to do the whole boundary is a long walk.
What's a long walk? How many hours? 2? 6?
We've done it once
miles,
before,
yeah.
so what would you say?
I mean,
Probably 4 hours.
yeah, probably could stop and look at stuff, so. Yeah.
And what about the other one? Waldvogel.
I'm not sure how long that one will take. Because I think we're gonna have a struggle there trying to find
Does he want
boundaries.
to send out an email or something, or
Well,
Right.
do it that way?
I guess,
should've
I
brought it.
think maybe a Saturday morning, when there's some hope of a little bit of sunlight, we'd be able to,
4 hours?
because if we go in the afternoon on a weekday, it'll be dark.
It'll be dark, right. If it's 4 hours, it'll be dark.
It'll be at dark.
Yeah, is there an issue with hunting? To wait, the hunting season's over?
It is hunting season.
I know, it's, I meant wait till,
Yeah,
ends the
I don't know
first,
when it ends. I know the area
December?
around,
The 15th
oh, it's that
of
late?
December.
is it the
I
15th of
think it's
December?
15th.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that is a huge deer hunting area around
Then we don't
Page
want to
Hill
be in
Mark.
there.
Even if you've got your orange on.
Yeah,
I
so
mean-
you wanna wait,
You look like a
is
deer,
that the
you know?
consensus and wait till deer hunting
Yeah,
season's
why
over?
don't we
Yeah.
send
So,
out,
so we go, if it's frozen, like you said, we can
Walk
Even
across.
better.
walk
Yeah.
across and,
why don't we send
Although
out
if
an
you're trying
email?
to check
when
all
we
the
get
boundaries,
closer
oh,
it's
to
you
still
the-
want
all
to
the way
check the
around.
boundaries, that's
Well,
right.
there's also the possibility of splitting it up into 2 walks.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the problem, is if we get snow, you won't be able to find them, the granite boundaries.
Yes, you will.
They're pretty tall.
Okay.
Well, there's only one lot has the granite boundaries, but it's in the middle of several of the others, and these are like square monuments that rise up, I don't know, they're 10 inches high, 12 inches high,
Oh,
they're
okay.
big.
Okay.
Then others, like the one we bought from Dawson, Ori Dawson, is big, stout, 1.5 inch steel pipe with red paint on the top.
Oh,
Those
wow.
stick up very prominently.
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple of the others are not quite so clear, but there's barbed wire fence running along and PLC boundary markers.
Okay.
I mean, we found all the boundaries out there. The only thing that had me stymied for a long time was the one corner that I just couldn't find, because it was somewhere in the middle of a wetland. I mean, a standing water wetland that just had little hummocks of vegetation. And following the maps, I couldn't find it. Following the electronic GPS, I couldn't find it. So one day out of desperation, I just used a compass, old school, but you know, you can't see that far through the trees, right? And we just would like sight on a tree, go to that, sight on a tree, followed at the end, ended up in a hummock out in the middle of the wetland going, well, now what? And I turn around and there at
There
the
it
bottom
is.
of the tree is a peg.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't.
So did you flag it up high?
It's
so you
got a
could find
marker.
it again?
Yeah, I know where it is.
Oh, okay.
Some survey tape
So
that's
should
like
we
3
send
feet
out an
long.
email and ask
Exactly.
and get
No,
closer
we
to
don't
the
need a
time?
bunch of plastic pollution. We
Yeah.
just needed to get it marked and it's marked.
Well, why don't we,
Maybe
do we
the
just
20th or
email or
something.
set a date sometime after the fifth, after hunting
Thanks,
season
after
over?
hunting season?
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to do it close to Christmas, or you want to wait until January?
I would rather wait until January personally, because I'm not gonna be here at Christmas.
Because then you hit, after December 15th, you're hitting Christmas.
You're
Yeah.
right.
It'll be the weekend before Christmas then,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I'm free that weekend,
David,
anyone else?
what do you think?
Yeah, we can do that, I guess. Put it off
It'd be
until
the shortest day of
January.
the year. It will be.
That is true, yeah.
It'd be the
Do an
shortest
email after the holidays.
day of January.
After all the holidays,
I
okay.
think so.
Okay.
It'll be,
I yeah, you know how
Or
it
do
goes,
it
so you
this-
keep putting it out,
It'll
putting
be
it out,
June.
next thing you know, it's summer
okay,
and
after the
Dixie.
holidays.
The
It's
first
true.
weekend, what, first weekend of January we get it?
It'll probably be 20 below zero.
Yeah, it's fine,
Snowing.
I got my wool. Okay.
Nope, are we
Well,
all
that's,
set?
that's the hard part, hitting a sweet spot before it's too cold, and not cold enough.
So we're all set with that?
Yeah, and then I guess we'll have to sort out doing the other walk as well.
I'll do an email now. I had something I wanted to say,
Okay.
to bring up though.
For-
Nima-
Okay.
Nemaski Lake, it's not to do with open space, Nemaski Lake is anticipating that they're gonna come in at 12,500 to 15,000. And I let him know our budget was 10,000 again. But then Derek asked me, have we ever thought of using the LUCT Conservation Fund? Or the Conservation Capital Reserve Fund?
No,
Absolutely not.
I'm
knows
bringing it to
better.
you because I got asked and I went,
For
can
the-
we use that?
But that's
No,
for
it's-
treating the
it's-
milfoil.
yes.
Yeah,
I mean, people came to us at the very beginning and tried, but that's why
so no,
it's set up
No, the answer is no.
right.
It's for
Okay.
purchasing land.
specifically.
Now,
So-
they,
Only not weeds.
on the Maskey, is Manchester kicking in on some of that?
I don't know, that's up to them to approach. I
But
don't know.
before, yeah, they should let us know.
They've
if
done
they-
it, and I mean, we got after them and they've done it before.
Yeah, we instructed them this time to go to them too. I don't know if they did or not. They got 4,000 from us this past year for their treatment, which covered, and so they got another 4,000, or they got half of it from the state. I don't know, they had to come up with it somehow on their own.
They,
Or they went there.
they got grants and they got money from Manchester and then they got money from us. Because they covered it, they did it all.
They did cover it all?
Yeah, and when they came back early before and said, why don't you use your conservation fund? Our answer was, no, we specifically set it up for land conservation
Yeah.
only, A, and B, try getting the funding from the town. It went on a warrant article and it passed. I mean,
Yep.
we supported that article.
Right. So the
It
answer
was
is,
just a question, and I said,
Yeah, I know.
I would just want to bring it to you.
This is just an answer.
Yeah, well, sometimes in Maskey though, they anticipate this, and then, like the other ones, and they come in, it's way lower. So it may be
Oh,
a
so this is
non-issue.
their
They're
their own
projected.
personal,
Yeah.
okay.
Because they're going out to bid.
And then, but they have to hire someone to go and study the milfoil in the spring. And then they'll know what areas they have
The
to treat.
state,
the
state
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 does
does
that.
that.
Mhm.
State does
The
that.
state's been doing that,
Yeah.
so they're also, okay, we're all set with that one?
Yep, and then I was gonna ask about the December meeting.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you want to have a December meeting? Or you?
You said you didn't have anything for us right now?
Not now. The deadline for planning is next Wednesday. ZBA is now on to the January deadline, which they meet the first Tuesday in January.
So, do we need,
We don't need a meeting.
we don't need a meeting, so we have,
I mean, I don't know, something could come in, but
Right.
I'll just tell me you're not, if they have to go to conservation,
We're not gonna meet.
they'll have to go to January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Betty?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, if we have somebody make a motion to adjourn?
Oh, I just have one
Maybe
quick
vote
thing.
to cancel the meeting in December?
Oh, we have to
Altogether.
vote on that.
Yeah,
Okay, does somebody want, first of all, make a motion to cancel the meeting in December?
I'll make that motion.
Somebody second that?
So,
Everyone? All those in favor?
aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Okay. Now, Susan?
I just had a comment. The planning board must have approved the lot that we didn't
The-
want them to have.
The
on-
one, yes.
Yes, because they've cut all the trees.
Yes,
Are
they
you
did.
kidding me? The one sloping straight down into the
The
brook?
trees are all cut.
They,
How could they be so irresponsible?
so
That, it.
you
the
had
whole-
Yet Engineering there too. And so they did make a statement that they appreciated and they respected the conservation's decision, but or the recommendation, but they felt doing a bridge was gonna create more of an issue, like if there was salt. And the lot next to it going through, Scott had said that would not work either, from what him looking at the two properties from his, and
So they
that's,
cut all the trees.
so they went still with,
So they
What
cut
they
the trees and
propose.
the water
What
can
they-
just flow down the hill.
Right, but I don't think they put any barriers. I don't think there's any
No
hay
erosion
bales. I
control.
don't think there's anything down there on the edge of the brook. Now, they've cut the trees.
well, they
and
haven't
started
had
to
the
work.
plan signed and recorded yet, so they shouldn't be doing
Anything.
anything. Well,
So
they can
they-
get an intent to cut, they don't have required.
They're
to-
all cut, so
All
I
the
think
trees
we should
cut.
make a big stink about it, because they're all cut, and they put a gravel, a top, like a beginning of a gravel road.
It's
Definitely
probably the driveway.
take some pictures.
It was done last week. I mean, they cut all the trees.
I just can't
Right,
believe
you
that
want-
something so ridiculous would get approved.
Yeah.
I just.
Well, where.
And I don't know, I
It's a
didn't,
horrible lot.
I didn't go down and
Well, that's
measure.
what I'm saying, that is that that's the stream that comes from the Uncanonic Lake, and we have this emergency plan.
Right, and they're probably right in the line of fire.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just,
Well, how could they cut
so
all
I
those trees?
was
when they don't have
thinking
a
if
permit?
this got approved.
If they have an intent to cut, they can,
Yeah,
unless
but
it's
if something
under
ever happens,
20
like-
trees.
Well, see, I said, I think
When
that
they
the
come to
Conservation
us.
Oh,
Commission
can
should
they
have
cut
a
under 20
disclaimer
trees?
that
Is
they
that-
have
they
to
won't.
sign that says,
No, but they-
we
do
had
they come to
notified
town?
them
Do
that
they
they
intend to
are
cut?
in an
The assessing would have
emergency.
it if there was
Well,
one.
can you
I
check
think
on
that's
that?
the
Because
state.
it-
But if
they
it's
are
under
cut.
a
With
certain
like
amount,
the
then they don't
dam.
need it.
flood
Yeah.
plans, I'm sure like
And
And if
insurance.
they were
has to-
cutting it to
They
put
have,
in the road,
that whole thing of
Maybe it was
how much
highway or
water
whatever.
would
Cut
go
the whole
down.
lot.
Right.
It would end up like down behind the
Can
high
you
school
check?
someplace. It
I'll
comes
check,
right
but
down
I
through there.
will
And
by
there
there
was
and
a
look, and
whole
they've cut the top for the driveway, but
thing
they
by
cut
the-
the whole lot.
State.
State that would
Up to the wetland
question the
markers.
loss of life.
We're
That's
still
what it
on
was.
the,
Well,
Yes.
but if that was proposed,
my
then
question
they
is,
can.
would then
They
Conversation
can't
at a
constitute the
time.
plan sign.
Right.
Okay, so what are we doing?
She's having me check to see if there
she's
was
just
intent to
checking
cut.
about the trees.
Is it more than 20 trees?
I have no idea. I could go count, but.
I mean, I know there's like, if there's so many is when they get it. Otherwise, you should be cutting the trees until the plan sign. And I have not gotten a plan even to review.
well, should we take a picture? We can
If you
stand right
send
on the road and
pictures,
take a
yeah,
picture.
and then I can have Scott Ozana look at it too. Engineer, if they're doing something they're not
And they
supposed to.
started work without a signed permit, that's not right.
Well, they brought gravel in from the top of the road across. So they put in a driveway. They started the
I mean, was
driveway.
this a subdivision or was it an existing lot that they're developing?
Just
It's
a
an
lot.
existing
So
one.
it wouldn't be a plan that got signed, they just got their approval and they have to follow their approval. So if there's a violation, like if they're not doing something that's shown on that plan as the work they were doing, Scott was on it.
How large is
Well,
the?
why don't you have them check on it without
I
even
will.
sending a picture? Have somebody go
I'll-
down there and check on it.
Yeah,
because-
I'll contact
uh,
Scott tomorrow.
Because the flagging, you can very clearly see the flagging that marks the
Wetlands.
wetland buffer. But everything else is
The
cut.
front of it, I assume they were cutting,
It's all cut.
yeah.
And it's kind of two levels. It's high, and they filled, and then it's low, and they've cut all the trees. It's very, very obvious if you drive by there, but.
But it might be in the area they proposed to cut.
Right, they had to cut in order to,
Yeah.
Get the
in order
road,
to get, in order to go down and put their well in, they had to cut to get a road down there to get a well digger, because the well is down on the backside, closer to the pond, closer to the brook on their plan.
Yeah.
So that's when I had asked them,
terrible.
how are you gonna? how
So
you
they
get
might
down the hill?
just be prepping to, sometimes they do that and then they come in with their bill. I don't think a billing permit's been pulled yet.
Right,
But I'll have Scott look at it and I can email you guys.
yeah, have them look at
Okay.
it, somebody should
Yeah.
look and see what's
thank
happening.
you, yeah, somebody should, sure, okay? Do we have any?
Motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Yes.
Play around
Do we have a
it.
second?
Mike, any
Second.
mistake?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? The meeting is over.
Okay.